of the battles, one of the baddest battles that I ever had was...
Remember the one with the Randolph when he jumped, when he flipped in the middle, electric ballroom?
Oh yeah, there was this scenario when we was in the electric ballroom. Is it Lyceum or electric ballroom?
Electric ballroom, that one was. Electric ballroom.
Yeah, Frank, Kelvin. Kelvin was good, man. I don't know if you interviewed him yet, but Kelvin's probably got a lot to say. He was fast, man. I mean, he done a somersault.
It was ran on the somersault and landed in the middle and just went into windmill straight. Bang! Yeah. Straight, and this wiped it. Yeah, it was a wrap. Done. You know what I mean? So, you know, the word of Jedi's spread, sorry?
Who was that against?
Oh, it was just against, well, it was just everybody in Lyceum who was breaking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, sidewalking, everything.
Sidewalk, Dolby,
all them man was
there was a competition. It was a competition and all that.
You know what I mean?
But they got
our hand in
they
there,
got shooked up anyway. London All Stars got shooked up at that time.
Yeah.
Well, it's just it's timing, isn't it? I mean, it's again the breakers now are still not getting the justice what they deserve. Okay, they're still getting exploited. They're still getting one or two calls. Like if they want to break a breaker, they will get. If Taylor Swift wants a breaker or one of them pop stars wants to get a breaker, they would just snap one of them and put them in a high-profile video. Breaking would never. It's like you will never see a breakdancer being promoted just for breakdancing. It's still that kind of underground, edgy dance.
It was very group therapy type thing, you know, for us in them days. Well, you know, it's better than what these people are doing nowadays, these youths, you know, so it kept us out of trouble in that sense, you know what I mean? Not that if there weren't no breakdancing, us guys would have been going on crazy like them guys are doing nowadays anyway, because that wouldn't have been happening. We grew up in a different era. But yeah, to each his own. To each his own. But we had our breakdancing, we had our crew. We were all good boys in that sense.
It's come a long way, I think. Like I said, I'm not really up on the breakdance scene at the moment, but yeah, I could say we were pioneers. We foundation, man. We put the foundations down and the kids have taken it up and they've run with it, you know what I mean? So I'll give them full credit. But yeah, you know, I'm glad I was a part of the breakdance because I'm sure I inspired people when I was breakdancing to breakdance themselves. You know, even when I used to show people moves, they couldn't believe, you know, you could dance like that. But yeah, man, breakdancing is a great form of art, expression, and yeah, it's street, man, it's street.
Well, I used to like keeping it foundation. Foundation is a word everybody's using now to term the original moves, like how Ken Swift would dance, how Crazy Legs would dance, how a lot of members of Rocksteady crew danced in the early days and then before their time as well. The original moves that were created and that you didn't have to ask for permission to do certain moves. You know, back in the day, doing a chair freeze was a big thing because somebody came along and did that move for the first time and wowed everybody. And then it got incorporated as being foundation. Right? Well, I was tried to be a more foundation person. I really liked a lot of footwork, a lot of freezes, a lot of neck moves and back spins and stuff like that.
Training ground was, majority of the time we had a couple of places. If the weather was good, especially in the summertime, we'd be in the garage with our liner. If the weather was sort of like poor and damp, we'd be in either Haringey Boys Club or the Union Club on Fern Park Road there. Is it Fern Park Road? Yeah, Fern Park Road there.
Well, you know, as you say, history has a way of, you either know the history or you don't know the history. And then if you're fortunate enough to write it down in any books, you're fortunate in that way. But I say, you know, being part of the movement was just being a part of the movement. People who knew about it, people who didn't know about it, it's just unfortunate that they didn't know.
So firstly, the history of it, how it was coming here, it was kind of the earliest kind of viral situation that you can imagine. And back then there wasn't no internet, so people were like literally pirating off tapes and using VHS and just being lucky to catch certain things on telly or wherever they were catching it. So what you had people like Poppin' Pete, and he'd done a video called Lost My Shape, which was Talking Heads. Should see that. That was early days, you know. That was the thing that got me popping, because I saw that video and thought, wow, that, you know, like rather than cracking, I wanted to move a bit like Poppin' Pete. But there was other people too. There was Jeffrey Daniels. He made some earlier stuff, earlier than Poppin' Pete, which was mirrors and stuff like that. And that was great. And what would happen is, so you'd have family in America or something, or a contact or a connect, and they would send over a VHS and you would watch it, and then you would start dancing like it, and somebody would see you, and before you know it, or you'd share the video to your friends, and that would give you the edge on other crews around you. So for a while, who was running things were the people who were getting the newest videos, and that was it.
Went in the ring of fire, you know what I mean? There's only a few went in the ring of fire and come out to tell a tale, you know what I mean? We done that, you know what I mean? From them clubs of Let You Ballroom, right? Lyceum,
Yeah, man.
all those, we went in. We went in on them, man, you know what I mean?
Well, if you're going to come into it, you've got to love what you're doing. That's the main thing, right? Because it wants a lot from you. B-boying demands a lot from you, and in order to get there as well, and it's a good challenge. It challenges yourself. The moves, like you said as well, when you get the moves and you're revolving and going round in the circle, it's very hard to explain the feeling of it, but the excitement. But it's just something that it just captivated everybody. And it can do the same for everyone else. It keeps you fit, like Mark was saying as well, dedication you have to put into it. Of course, you're going to get injured, but I mean, if you love art, you have to pay the price for it, you know? So big up and try it, really. Yeah, so I don't know what to say on that one.
I don't think it's today, because I can't think of any breakdancer as broken out by himself and who's a star. Like a DJ, like you can name any top DJ, hip hop DJ. You can name any top rapper who's standalone, who's making £100,000 a night. But I can't think of any breaker by himself doing a show on a TV show or going to an award show. Can you think of any breaker? I can't think of any breaker. As I say, I can think of a rapper and I can think of a DJ, yeah.
Salsa. My dance now is I do salsa. I go out to the club socially, and like I said, I involve the body popping. You could involve body popping moves within because it's a part of the dance. Most of my salsa activities now, I'm radio DJ. Going to a new station soon, but it will be revealed. Yeah. And the story about the wooden floor, salsa dancers need nice wooden floors to dance on, and that reminds me a lot of the break dancing. I don't think, maybe if I had a liner, I could do a slide move within the salsa. But yeah, that's my activity now, keeping fit. Another dance that keeps you fit, that is a challenge again. The ladies love it when you can lead them. And if you've got that special bit in it, they even love it more. So there you go.
The only way I could explain it so you guys could understand is that if we're sort of like in a battle, and there's like someone, I see someone that's eyeing me up and thinking that, yeah, he wants to battle with me, then obviously it's a thing that you'd do is an up rock. It's like a standing sort of like dance. And it's like from there, you'd go yourself, you bring yourself down to the ground and do your crazy work, crazy leg work. And then from there, you go into a technique where you think he can't better that. You know what I mean? So it could be either a hand spin, it could be either a turtle, it could be a back spin, straight up into sort of like head spin, which Terry used to do. Chris that was. Yeah, as I said, it's all about the combinations. You know what I mean? If you know how to actually combine your breaking techniques into one form, you're top.
But you see about I think it's breakdancing is very a critique, envious type of feeling, because you have to be good, you have to be articulate to do breakdancing, right? And some people can't do that. As you know, some people can dance and some people can't dance, right? And seeing an individual having that power at the time is very intimidating. So I think that is the biggest problem.
Do you think you can pull off any of the moves still now?
I can, but due to, like I said, I have a lower back injury at the moment, I don't want to risk causing any further injury to myself, yeah? But yeah, I can still do my thing, man.
I knew you was gonna say it, man. And you know what? I was thinking to myself, I bet you any money there's gonna be that in there. Watch your eye, and he's laughing.
Okay,
Man, no, fuck it, I'll pull a move. Damn, man. You came all this way?
Yeah, I can pull off a couple moves. I'm still a little bit tuned, not running my mouth on that.
I couldn't pop to save my life, man. Couldn't pop to save my life. For some reason, it just weren't in me to pop. Couldn't. I tried, but it wasn't happening. Wasn't happening.
If you've got ambulance ready, I might try, you know. But otherwise, nah, not really. I haven't done nothing for years, and you know, as you say, you know, I've lost the form, I lost my sharpness, so I'm just looking for an injury right now.
I could still balance on my hands, turtle. The scene I'm in now, the salsa scene, I still incorporate the body popping, dance with the ladies. They look at me and say, what's this? So it follows you everywhere. Even within that, so really you can mix martial arts, the body popping. Yeah, I still incorporate that in my everyday dance now.
I'll be watching. I ain't even gonna try for 10.
Couple men have to still rip up, you know.
Yeah.
After 86, 87, when I hit my dad's kebab shop and all that, I used to listen to like Tim Westwood on Saturdays when he came on. But I found out gradually hip hop was slowly changing. It was more based on rap music now. You know what I mean? And I couldn't see no breakers on videos and that and this no more and all this. After like 4 or 5 years later, I kind of like walked out the family, man. I had some bad gambling habits and all that, man. So I had to walk out the family on the other side of the river. And this is something like 94, 95, yeah? And I was working in this breakfast place and then I came out of there. I ended up working in some fish and chip shop down King's Cross. And when I was working in King's Cross in a fish and chip shop, I bumped into some old school cats around that region, and they told me this club called Scratch, Matt and Rob, I think. Scratch was happening, and it was like every month and all this. And I was so fucking happy, man, that you know this kind of events were happening again and all that.
Yeah.
And man, I wanted some form of excuse for breaking to come back again anyway. You know what I mean? So I started up breaking again ever since I started.
Probably could, but then I wouldn't be able to get up. I'd have to phone the ambulance, bro.
Carl, man, that's a hard question because, you know, we're talking tracks from way back. Now, what's that guy, Malcolm McLaren? Is it Malcolm McLaren? He had a few good tracks. There was another woman. There was loads of, you know, hip hop was new back then as well. It was early over here, so there was so much of it out there. And yeah, and because I love music, you know, give me a beat, man, I'll just bop to it, dance to it, break to it, whatever, you know. But yeah, man, you know, the music back then was really good, really good.
Well, a lot of us changed names a lot of the time, you know. As I said, I used to be called Crazy Feet, but now I won't carry that name, but I still toy with the name Astro Atom, which I use now. And it's a shortened down version, it's really astronomical atomical, right? But Astro Atom is the name now.
What opened my mind to a lot of visually, as I say, African Bambaataa had Planet Rock. They had the video, and it was just music, him rapping. But they say when Malcolm McLaren came out, he had the music, and he had Rocksteady breakers breaking into it. So that when we saw that visually and seeing the hip hop music and seeing how to dance with it, that's what made it even more appealing.
You know what? Before, ain't doing it with no neighbours watching.
Okay, don't worry. We'll do something later, man.
Yeah, all right, later. You know that I prefer it.
The graffiti, yeah, it was all part and parcel. It was all part and parcel of the time, of that culture, that hip hop culture. It was all part of it, mate. Yeah, the graffiti. Yeah, we had guys in our crew that used to go around doing graffiti and stuff. It was part of the culture, to be honest, yeah.
The other guys, at one time there was Kuriski, Rico, Flash Legs, Screamer, Flexi, Subfloor, Bronx Kid. Right.
We used to rap. We had guys that loved the rapping, Franklin and Terrence and all them guys there. Yeah, they were really good at it as well. They could have been famous. But hey.
Actually, I shouldn't even do this, man. I just realised who's going to be watching it. No, come back.
Come on, man. No. Come on, man. Bust a wave, what's up?
All right. The kind of moves I used to like were like really popping moves, like. But I don't even know if my body feels funny doing it. That kind of stuff.
You know, I have to say, I just have to say this. It's like the old saying, "What came first, the chicken or the egg?" Innit? You know, if you like power moves, it's New York City Breakers. If you like Rocksteady Crew, the Petite, the Individual, the flair, the excitement, the style, you would say Rocksteady run it. But on the other hand, you would say New York City Breakers because they had all the crowd was on their side. They had all the excitement moves. So seeing again, I just think it was a draw. I really think, I feel every time I sing, I think it's a draw.
For me, around the era of 87 is when I went back into Wing Chun Kung Fu, and I started doing that. And I haven't looked back since. You know what I mean? I still do it to this day, and I teach too.
No, graffiti's been going on for a long time. A long time. The history in graffiti is a whole different chapter by itself. You know, the most prolific person the person who tagged the most was supposed to be an old homeless woman. And I forgot what she wrote. But she didn't use a marker, she scratched it into walls and stuff like that. And they said that was the most prolific person who did tags in New York.
And I see, you know, you see all the crowd, but if you check the moves, what New York City Breakers, Rocksteady Crews was doing, they were all individuals, and they were all good at what they were doing. And New York City Breakers was just being pure windmill. Little Lep had the flair. What's it called? Oh, it's called a flair. No, not a flair. A Little Lep done swipe into headspin, innit? But Rocksteady Crew was Crazy Leg done a flair, swipes, what did he do? Swipes. A half somersault, came back again, one more swipes and one on his head and done one spin. So, you know what I mean? And it took 2 people to defeat him. It took 3 people to defeat him. It took Flip Rock, Little Lip and Kid Nice to hold down Crazy Legs. So that is 3 people onto one guy. So that's I say, if you're good at what you do, you can still manipulate a lot of these dancers out there.
See, Franklin, yeah, I'll look up to this brother. I got so much respect to him, man. He's older than me. Not because he's
1 year, I'm 50.
1 year older. We listen, man, I got respect for my youngers, my elders. I know how to sit down, I know how to get up, man. I know how to talk to my olders and youngers. My brother here, I ain't got the time, man, you know what I mean? He whizzes around and all that. He knows where my hat stall is. Ever since back in the days till now, we always see each other. Franklin always comes and visits me.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why every time I see Franklin, I feel so happy and I feel charged, man. When I see him come round the corner, there'll be times that I'll be down, man. And all this. When I see Franklin, man, I feel, man, the whole energy's coming back again. We will sit down, have tea, soft drink. We talk about the past, late night era, everything. Just to shuffle our brains up and keep us firm, you know what I mean? And stabilise ourselves, you know what I mean? Each other. Man, it's all good, man, you know what I mean? I still see Franklin.
Iron, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, you know what I mean?
It's always remained
beautiful,
that way.
It's beautiful,
you know?
It's beautiful.
Man. Peace and love.
Yeah, man, I mean, yeah, man, still got energy, man, and still to do it, man. You see me over there in the park soon.
Yeah, you know what? I mean, before breaking came into our lives, there was a lot of that. But as soon as breaking came in, and again, you see, it didn't really bother us because we knew that we could handle ourselves. Do you know what I mean? With the martial art experience in the background with us, but it didn't really bother us. I mean, when the actual break days came in, it wasn't in our mind. We didn't come across that. I mean, obviously you'd come across it all the time because back in the days it was quite strong there. You know what I mean? But we sort of like being focused on what we believed in and knew that we had no problems with it. It didn't bother us.
Yeah, it's been a great interview, Carl. It's been great talking about breakdancing again. Yeah, bring me back to the old days, the good old days. But yeah, man, to anyone that's going to watch this video, yeah, breakdancing, man. What a great form of expression. It's an art, and if you can dance and you're young, try it. Give it a try. You never know. You might enjoy it.
Leroy, yeah, big up Leroy. I ain't seen you for years. Orville, Brian Taylor. I think there was one Brian Taylor. There was one white one. I forgot his name. Really good. Shit. You don't remember? No.
Colin.
No, the little one. He joined us late, but he was good. Like could head spin like a drill in the ground. Do you remember that?
Okay.
A little elf-looking face. Yeah. Anyway, big up all street rockers. If you remember who you are, enough respect.
But no, yeah, I'd love to meet up with the other crews and, you know, blessings to all of you guys. You gave me, do you know what I mean, friendship, a lot of times are good memories of my life. So, yeah, blessed to all the brothers, the brotherhood, you know. I can't name them all, Rico, whoever, Dr. Funk. Flash Legs, Crazy Legs, was it Clark? Was Crazy Legs? Paul was damn. To all the brothers, to all the Jedi's crew, live long and prosper.
It's strange how you can find how what you miss from the 80s and 90s and what people are trying to do now. You know, they talk about family, or you talk about teamwork, you talk about people, you know, people working as a unit. We had it from day one, you know, and it was just amazing that we had it and we still got it. And I'm just grateful for it. And it shows for what I do now.
Off the top, well, what I was thinking about earlier is like, I just want to say peace and respect. You're not forgotten to all those B-boys, writers, DJs, poppers who have passed on, you know. I was thinking of Georgie today, who was I think he was a member of Street Rockers, you know. He was a cool guy, you know, we always talk good when we was about and stuff like that. You know, respect to Georgie, man.
Keep focused. The thing is, everybody wants to do something, and when that pie becomes smashed, it doesn't work. So create something and be good at it and keep changing it. Don't keep it the same for this person to do, for that person to do, and then before you know it, everybody's doing it. Keep different, be like the water, fluid, and keep working at it. Because if you don't work at it, you never hit the goal. And that's what I found out with everything through my life growing up. Peace out.
If anyone's, well, a shout out to all the, I wouldn't say old school because now everyone's claiming old school. So I would say now a shout out to the original crew. Yeah, the Jedis and a few others know, Sidewalk and a few other crews know I'm talking about, the Billy, you know, a few people, they know I'm talking about, they were there from day one. I'd say to anyone if they're interested in wanting to learn this, yeah, and it probably apply to anything you want to learn in life, you've got to have discipline, you've got to have dedication,
yeah,
and you've got to be focused.
Yeah.
And you get there, that's
You'll
it.
get there, yeah.
Once you've got those ingredients, you master anything. That's all. That's all I did. And I think with this, it would be good to do a reunion for the people that's involved in this documentary. It'd be nice to do a reunion just to talk to everyone and just see how everyone's up to. That's it.
I'll give a shout out to anyone that lasted more than 2 years as a B-boy. You get a shout out because you did put some work in. At least you tried, you know what I mean? And everyone have their own journey.
Yeah, it's nice to see you guys, man. Watching the videos there, it's funny, man. It's blessed. Look, we've got to get together and sort of like talk about this. Take care.
Would you still tape it? Oh damn! I thought you stopped.
No, man, that's cool, man. That's cool, man.
But yeah.
Any last words?
What do you mean last words, man? You can't be finishing, man. There's so much things.
I'm gonna swing it like crooks. This year, that's right. No doubt. That's right. Yeah. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries. More people hate me than love me. Heaven above me, even God cuffs me for rapping, cause he don't like ugly. I lust for these sultry women, sending this pure pleasure. Even when they act like to be a hate word, you gotta respect her. X marks the generation of the degenerate rapper. Paranoid, like afraid of the backstabbers. Stabbers, the whack rappers, the sabotage, the fabulous fat rappers. I'm so hungry, the jack with juice free as fat as beat. My game is snakes and adders, you can't escape. No ladders, parameters with angles, you can scramble through the madness. Rocks and rap that'll damage you when the battle dispatch you. With no clues to any MC you pay no dues. Style too sick to take the trial like pin and chain. The infamous words of Roxy Shante. Have a nice day. Smoke ya, cremate ya, ashes. If we're talking about those stacking, my mathematics and beyond John Babbitt. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries. Hip hop, that's reality. Got cars, cribs, contracts, and salaries.